Remembering times I feel like new. Every day, my favorite words you say still makes me smile. Just like yesterday, I need you here really bad. 'Cause when you go, my heart is sad. My oh my, how the smoke still fly. Keep me in the sky. I'm so high. My oh my, how the smoke fly. I'm so high. Where are you now? In the rain, my angel came. In the rain, my angel came. In the rain, my angel came. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. I am in totally relaxed mode this evening. I want to say welcome to another week of Conversations with a Masterful Raconteur. I'm yours truly, Florida's own Barrius McLeod. How y'all doing this evening? I would like to the post that I made the other day about the GoFundMe thing that was going on. I want to try to give you all some information as I got it from GoFundMe, the company. What had happened was, and I still don't really understand it, but apparently somebody that has a GoFundMe account seemed to have attempted to link to my GoFundMe page to try and get people who are going to my GoFundMe page to notice them. And I guess the goal or the objective would be to have people go to their page and make donations to their page. So I was very taken aback by that. And I took a screenshot and I shared it with you all so that you could see, what's going on, what had happened, because I certainly don't want a hacker or somebody to take advantage of the efforts that I'm making and try to utilize it for their own advantage. So I did communicate with GoFundMe, the company, showed them the screenshot, and what they said to me is that my GoFundMe page and account is intact, and it has not been compromised in any kind of way. And they went on to send me a detailed breakdown of everybody who has donated, and all of that is consistent with the emails that I get from them, as well as if you go to the GoFundMe page and see for yourself who has donated. So I just wanted to let you all know that everything is fine, and they're looking into whoever that is, and hopefully they will do whatever they need to do to try to make sure that that person or that source or whatever the case is, that they don't take advantage of my account, and I would hope anybody else's account. People are so, this is a crazy world that we live in. And so, but I just mainly wanted to reassure everybody who, especially who is considering donating and they have not donated at this point, that my account is safe. My GoFundMe page is safe. I have gotten on that like immediately, and they have assured me that my account, my page is safe. Excuse me. Um, Today I want to share with you all some background on my journey, because when it comes down to financing my shows and stuff, and to further try to explain why it's so important and key, and um, for me to try and raise funds to film my new movie, Sheeta Player. See, when I can remember when GoFundMe first came out, and that's been some years back. I don't remember exactly when, but it's been some years back, and I was thinking about it. I had read up on it, um, um, and at that time, it just seemed like it was more to deal with than I wanted to deal with, and I didn't push myself to read thoroughly and really learn it. There is more than one type of fundraising company similar to GoFundMe, and there was at least 3 of them. I don't remember the names of the other 2 right in the moment. There was, I guess I just didn't feel like doing all of that reading, and I just always have so much on my plate that I don't really like reading stuff that I don't have to read. So I shied away from the GoFundMe. And as I shared with you all recently, my good friend and customer, Cheryl Green, when I was telling her that I needed to raise money, and I was like, I just don't want to deal with the rejection, da 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 da. And she said, Barry, just trust God and do it. And I listened to her, and I'm so thankful that I did. I went back and I looked at the GoFundMe website, and I did some reading this time. And I wanted to make sure that I was understanding everything that was important for me to understand. So I took the time this time to read it. And Cheryl, if you're watching, I want to thank you again for encouraging me to do that, because making a movie is quite a process. And most of the time, if you just Google this type of thing, you'll see that, man, most of the time people, they raise like hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce a movie. And I did not see that as a realistic endeavor for me. And I've always been blessed and been able to utilize my natural talents and those people who were involved in my productions who were talented. And as a director, I was able to bring all of this talent into one collective process, make a team out of it, and we work together and we make it happen. So when I was thinking about producing Sheeta Player, which is my new comedy movie coming up, I was just thinking, and probably overthinking and all this. I'm like, I know that it's more likely not that I'm going to be able to raise the kind of money that I would really love to raise, because really it's going to take some thousands of dollars for me to produce this movie. And so I have to go back to the drawing board of strategizing and envisioning and trusting and believing how I can get it done with little or nothing. And my goal, quite simply, is I don't really care about shocking anybody or surprising anybody, but I will enjoy the feeling of when we produce this movie and it is good enough to be on any streaming platform Netflix, Peacock, Hulu, Tubi, whoever. It would be good enough to be on any of those platforms. And when people ask me how much did it cost to produce it, and when I tell them, most people are gonna say, no way, no, you can't do this kind of work with that little bit of money. Well, I remind myself all the time about the talent, because a lot of times with real talent, you can do really, really quality stuff with good talent. So that is my goal, to take a very, very, talk about a shoestring budget for what we're going to accomplish. The money that we're going to do it with, it's not even going to be a shoestring budget, you know. It's but we're gonna make it happen, just because we're going to have a lot of talent and a lot of passion, and everybody that's involved, from the actors to the crew to me. You know, when I think about all of the shows that I have done over the years, I'm here to tell you the truth. I've never had a grant. I've only one time I was doing a play and I had a sponsor. And that sponsor gave me $600. I was so elated because I always have a hard time raising money. And that's just a department that's not, my gift is not in that department of fundraising. So which is also why I was so reluctant and hesitant to do the GoFundMe. But I have just utilized the gifts that God has given me to tap into all the talent around me, and we pull it off. I've never had grants, and like I said, other than that one time, I've never had a sponsor. Some of the plays that I did, I was able to get some local businesses to buy an ad in the program, and the ads would range anywhere from $50 to maybe $100, and that was an uphill climb for me. That's one of the reasons why I miss my good friend Sheila so much, Sheila Bryant, who I talked about recently, because she was so instrumental in helping me. People would say yes to her for an ad, who would say no to me, and so she was so helpful. So it was between a handful of companies, local companies, and pretty much small businesses that would buy ads in our program book, and we just hustled and sold tickets. And that's pretty much how I did, how I was able to pay for the shows. I was never making profit. Out of everything I've ever done, I don't need but maybe two hands to count how many times I ever made a profit. And if you total up all the profit that I ever made, it would not equal a drop in the bucket to what I invested into producing a play or a film. So I'm just so thankful that I've been able to stay in this space and continue to grow and continue to do something. I'll share a couple of little stories with you right quick. There was this guy, he's passed away. I'm gonna share a story with you about two men that have passed away. That one had actually approached me and said, Barry, why don't you go to downtown to this organization and that organization, and they help people in the arts and entertainment, man. You'll be able to get some money to help you, and I'll be able to help you, assist you in making that happen. In fact, Barry, I think with all that you've done already, I think you should get an honorary doctorate degree. And I know the people at the University of Florida who can make that happen for you. So I was really, really interested in that. And this guy, he was a really smart guy. He was a very talented guy with the work that he did. Everybody in town knew him, and he had far. I don't know what, I can't really speak on this, but I believe he had far more friends than he had enemies. Excuse me. And he really wanted to help me, but you're thinking right now, okay, well, man, what did you do? Did you let him help you? And I just couldn't, because he was that guy. He was that personality that talking to him was like talking to Little Richard. Rock and roll legend Little Richard. Now, I'm not going to disrespect him and say his name, but a lot of people would know exactly who I'm talking about right now. I just couldn't deal with it. He was just too much. He never disrespected me. He never tried me, but it was like fooling with Little Richard, man. He just look at you and he smile and he do these little flirtatious things, and he was like a Little Richard, I really could have appreciated having an honorary doctorate degree, for the work that I have done. But I just couldn't rock with him like that. I just couldn't. And so I just refrained from doing it. And I remember he told me to go to this one place, and out of respect, I'm not going to say names and even of these different departments. But there's another story. This man, he was in charge of, as it was explained to me, he was the person that I needed to go to through the city to get a grant. And I like I said, I still have never had a grant, and I just didn't know about these kind of things. And so I heard about them, and I just never pushed myself. So in this particular case, I called this man, and I made an appointment with him, and I asked him, could I come and talk to him about a grant? I didn't know him. He didn't know me. So he gave me the appointment. I went and I spoke with him, told him what I'm about and what I'm trying to accomplish, et cetera, et cetera. And he looked at me and he said, I'd like for you to do something for me, if you would. And I said, sure. What would you like me to do? He said, well, I'm involved with special event after the homecoming. I think it was the homecoming, and they would have the parade, and everybody would go to, I think it was the homecoming. It was an event, something like that, and everybody would go to the main football field, and they would have this big celebration, and so he said to me, I want to do something different. Can you write me a concept that I can do something different from, because we do pretty much the same thing every year. So I said, sure, because me, that's who I am. I'm a creative person. I write, and I pride myself on being creative, and nobody can reinvent the wheel, but I take pride in coming up with ideas that, as my catchphrase is, I like to say, the right kind of different. So I wrote this concept for him, and I did it like I did it overnight. But I have waited 2 days, and I called him up and I said, sir, I have the concept ready for you. He was like, oh, really? Okay, that was fast. Come on in. So I went to his office. I showed it to him, and I sat back and I watched him read it. I had everything broke down as far as this is what happens at from the beginning all the way to the end. And I had these different ideas of entertainment and just the flow of the whole thing. I had it structured pretty well. And I watched this man, he read it and he was like, that's pretty good. So I'm sitting there thinking, wow, he likes this. So maybe he's going to be enthusiastic about helping me to get a grant. Because at the time, I wasn't doing film at the time. I was just doing plays. And I wanted to be able to do more with plays. And I did tour a lot of my plays out of town, but I needed more resources so that I could really build my company up and position my company so that I could do more things in town and be able to tour the production. And so he would tell me to get back with him. So I leave and I'm just got my fingers crossed, hoping that, you know, he's looking at the fact that I did for him what he asked of me, and the fact, excuse me, that he was satisfied with it. In fact, he was rather pleased. So I'm feeling very enthusiastic. So there was a fellow playwright that was doing a play in town, and this one guy that, you know, he had been in some of my shows, he was in this particular production, and he asked me would I come and support him, and I did. So when I got to that venue, I went, after I paid and went inside, I went into the men's room and to handle my business. And lo and behold, this man from this office, who I'm hoping to hear from, he's in the restroom. He's getting ready he's washing his hands in the sink, and I'm headed to the urinal. And so what was I supposed to do in that moment? The only thing to do is speak. And so I spoke to him. Hello, Mr. So-and-so and so. God is my witness. This really happened. You heard everything I said up to now. And that's where my head was. In a situation like that, that's not a time to conduct business. But I'm surprised to see him, and it's pleasant to see him. And so the appropriate thing for me to do is speak to him. We're looking at each other. You know, we're in very close proximity of each other. So I spoke to him. Hello, Mr. So-and-so and so. That man turned and looked at me, and this is what he did. He said, I told you I ain't got no money. And he snarled at me like that, and it stunned me. I was like, WTF. And he walked out. And I was offended. And I was like, it was unbelievable, because this was a man that you would see him, and he was a very accomplished man, as I understand it. And he was a classy man. He was old enough to be probably my father, you know. What he thought I was going to say to him, I can't explain why he did it like that. Later on, I got some information where I think I know why. But at that particular time, I had not a clue. And so I just left it alone. So that got that little grant a little bit. You know what I mean? Obviously, I wasn't gonna get a grant now. And I went. It took some months later before I got some more information that would make for an explanation as to why he handled me like that. But so all that stuff did between these two men, it just made me work harder. It made me work harder. I had to figure it out. I would go home and I would just sit down and I would just practice numbers. Okay, I need to have this many people to buy a ticket, and I need to be at this size venue, and I need to, the overhead is going to be this right here. And so I got to make at least this much money in order to take care of the overhead. And the actors, most of us, we were not trying to get paid. We were just trying to be a part of something and lend our talents to that. And so I was the man who created the mothership for everybody to come aboard. So I created the opportunity, and I shared the opportunity with talented people. Most of them appreciated, and a few of them absolutely did not. But these are examples of some of the things that a person in my position has to deal with, you know. But it never, ever discouraged me. I just treated it as like, okay, well, you know, I'll move right on to the next thing, you know. And since those days, I don't know how much more stuff I've done. But what I do know is that in the end, God always blessed me. He always blessed me. There was always a ram in the bush somewhere. I mostly didn't see it coming, but I got those shows done. I can remember once I went down to Melbourne. I took the troupe down to Melbourne, man, the cast, the crew, and I learned a valuable lesson down there about them deacons. A lot of them deacons in the church ain't nothing but crooks. Not all of them, but some of them ain't nothing but crooks, man, and they ripped us off. Because a lot of times when we went out of town, I would just make the arrangements to do it for a love offering, you know, because I was trying to accomplish more reach. I was trying to accomplish building more relationships. And fortunately, some of those efforts really did pay off, because even at this church down in Melbourne where the deacons ripped me off, that pastor, he invited us back a total of 3 different times. And so, you know, I've been blessed, and but when I look at it from a monetary standpoint, I've been blessed to do so much with so little that it's amazing. There's nothing but divine intervention that makes this kind of thing happen, you know. And like even right now, I had asked of with the GoFundMe for the movie Sheeta Player, I had asked of 50 people to support us with a donation of $50 each. So far, we got 9 people who have done so. So what does that leave? We need 41 more, but it's a start. And since I started the GoFundMe, we have a total of let's see, somewhere close to $900. It'll cost me every bit of the, and this is because like my cameraman, Crunk Boy, I want to, you know, I'm really grateful for this guy because he's very, very talented, and he's working with me as far as what he's charging me to film. And so, you know, that right there is a big deal. And if this fundraiser pans out the way I pray that it will, I'm going to make sure and bonus this brother, because he has really cut his price down pretty low in order to be a part of this project. You know, he wants to have a film credit. He does a lot of music videos and stuff like that, but he's a really cool guy. I like his personality. I like his professional ethic. But it'll cost me several $100s a day per shoot, you know, to do this. And so far we're approaching $1,000. So I am grateful. I am happy. I am looking forward. And, you know, I'm stepping out on faith. And as much as I don't enjoy rejection, especially from family and friends who know me well, who won't support, I'm still going to try to make this fundraiser happen. I'm still going to appeal to as many people as I can to donate in any amount Any amount, we'll be grateful for it. Lady gave us $5 the other day, you know, and we're grateful for any amount. If it pays for this production, I guarantee you, when we get done with this film, and this is on video, so y'all can save it, watch it, see what I tell you. When we get done with this film, this is going to be a very industry standard quality movie that is going to be super, super funny. It's going to be so funny that people are going to automatically tell their friends and ask them, have you seen She the Player? If you haven't, you got to see it. That's how good it's going to be. And I have a very, very talented cast. This past, today is Monday, this past Saturday, I went to the 900 Club to support my friends, Slick Chicky, he and Uncle Clean. They, it was a Slick Chicky production. They did a comedy show, and 4 of the comedians, let's see, if I'm not mistaken, 4 of the comedians that did that show, man, they brought the house down. Slick Chicky, he brought it down. Uncle Clean brought it down. Kenya brought it down. Daniel Patrick, they brought the house down. The people was just cracking up. And I was sitting in there feeling so elated because I'm like, they are in the movie. And just as sure as they got these people in here laughing like this, they're going to have them laughing in the movie, watching the movie as well. So I was just sitting there studying them. And even though I told them, I said, man, I come to support you. You know, the way I'm wired, I'm looking at all these other details and I'm studying and I'm paying attention to it. And I've already worked with Slick Chicky and Uncle Clean, and even Kenya in a small role. But also I already know what I get from them. And I've been watching Daniel, man. This guy is just hilarious. He can make you laugh without saying a word. So I'm so excited to have them in the show. And in another Monday, I'm going to really tell you about each one of the cast. I want y'all to know them. I want you to know them, especially those of you who are supporting us with donations of your hard-earned money. I want you to know who they are. They are talented. I see Tony is touching there with me. I think I saw the Mona Lisa earlier. Just good. They're just good. They're just talented. So I got a bad cast, y'all. I got a bad cast. And I think they know they got a bad director and writer. And so we're just excited. She the Player is going to be a full feature-length movie about a couple of women, one in particular, who thinks she's so slick and she can manipulate some old school players, and all of them not going to be old school like that either, but just thinks she can manipulate some men so she can afford her a dream vacation to Dubai. Man, when y'all see this story, man, I tell you, you're just going to love it. So if you don't mind, support us. Any amount, we'll be grateful for it. When you see my promotions on social media, I have the QR code right there. Take your cell phone, excuse me, and I have to explain this because there's a lot of people in different age brackets, and everybody is not the same tech savvy. So take your cell phone, put it on camera, if you don't already know how to do this, and point it at the QR code, and the GoFundMe page will automatically pop up. Just tap on it. It will route you to our GoFundMe page, and it's very simple. Just make a donation in any amount, and I still want to get those other 41 people who will just give us $50. You know, give us $50 a piece, and help us pull this thing off. On behalf of the cast, I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. When you go to our GoFundMe page, it will explain in detail what the movie is about, etc., etc. And you can feel free to inbox me on social media if you have any questions or any concerns. And I won't hesitate to respond back to you. Even if I can't do it right then and there, I will definitely get back with you. And everybody who has donated anonymously, thank you so much, because you can do that anonymously as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Our GoFundMe page is intact. It has not been compromised. And we're looking forward to taking every single penny of that money and paying for this production. And what people think it's going to take, see, people in my position, I'm going to just tell y'all, for those of you who don't know, people in my position, to do a film like this, at the very least, most people are trying to raise like $100,000, six figures and stuff like that. We're not going to have that kind of money, I don't think. It'd be awesome if we were blessed like that, because then we could definitely do more that, you know, that we're cutting corners with right now. But we're going to make it happen, and just look forward to it. We're having our first meeting this week, and we hopefully we'll have our first shoot in the very, very near future. So once we get our meeting done, we'll know about that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to clear up for those of you who were wondering about what's going on with the GoFundMe account. And please share the promos that I'm putting out there. I would really appreciate it, because there's going to be every bit of a dozen people that are listening to me right now who we know each other personally and very well. We're supposed to be like this. And if you don't support me and you cannot even share it, what are you going to say when you look me in the eye the next time we're in each other's presence? Because I'm going to be thinking, you mean you couldn't even share it? So that's not like a threat or nothing. It's just that I'm talking to these certain people who talk to me personally, and they're always encouraging me and telling me how much they believe in me and this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay, it's because of that energy that you put behind me that helps me to keep going and going and going. And I'm really doing it. I'm doing it. This ain't no joke. I'm still diligent and passionate. And I really could use your support. If that's really what this is, I really could use your support. So I do appreciate it. And thank you. Wishing you all a good evening. And you'll be hearing from me. I come every Monday, somewhere around 7 o'clock. And I do conversations with the Masterful Raconteur, and I share part of my journey and different stories, and sometimes stuff that's in the news and sometimes stuff that's in the wind, just whatever I feel like doing at that particular time. So I'm going to sign off now. Florida's own Barry McLeod, truly the right kind of different. Y'all be blessed, and thank you again.